Hello, everybody, and welcome to Get Folked.
Oh shit, I never got a beer. Why didn't I get a beer? Damn it. Oh well.
You want to run now and I'll vamp?
I'll finish my cup of tea first. I've got a nice cup of tea. Yo! Nothing says rock and roll like a cup of tea. In a
Friday
what
night,
used
baby.
to be.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Get Folked, a casual listening podcast anchored in our love of folk music with enough slack in the line to bring you into our worlds of Berlin and Limerick. I wanted to do alliteration there, it didn't work. Limerick and beyond. All the beyond is there. Okay. My name's Andrew.
My name is Edward, the Sage Seer Brophy. Don't forget. Actually, do you know what? I'm going to change it up there. Get serious for a second.
Seeing Sage.
The Seeing Sage. The reason I'll get into why I said that there in a moment. But
Dill.
yeah, I suppose the podcast. You know, let's plug the old podcast. So as you know, we publish on Substack, and the best way to help the podcast is to subscribe to us on Substack. You can also catch the podcast on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Those things will never just roll off the tongue for me. I don't know why. I suppose because they're not really real words. Apple Podcasts. I mean, they're two very new, like Apple. Okay, is an old word, but podcast is a new word, and then putting them together to make a new meaning. It's never going to click in my brain. And then Spotify, it's just total bullshit because like it's just totally made up.
Imagine
word.
8-year-old Ed, just looking at you now going, who is this guy?
Who is this man from the future?
What he's done.
And also you can catch us on YouTube. YouTube is also a very nice place to look at both myself and Andy and enjoy us drinking from faded cups of tea. And yeah.
Just your whole...
Actually,
go on.
Go on.
No, I was going to take us just down a very quick road of one thing that I've just thought about now, which is kind of weird, but I wasn't doing it at the time, which was thinking of you as 8-year-old Ed. And a question I asked a group to students this week was, would you rather be a 58-year-old with the face you have now, with your 8-year-old face?
Mm-hmm.
Or would you rather be an 8-year-old with a 58-year-old's face?
Oh, Benjamin Button, like in that situation. I think
but I just think you're going to get older as an 8-year-old. So
it's just your face. So it's just your face.
Yeah.
As a 58-year-old, you have an 8-year-old's face. You put everything else as 58-year-old.
Yeah.
I think that one, because like I mean, if you minded yourself, you could. Maybe you could be as a 58-year-old, you could probably look pretty good, but as an 8-year-old with a 50-year-old, you're just an ugly child.
Well, yeah, but if you as an adult choose I want to look 8-year-old, but I want to be 58 in my mind. I think there's only one. You're going straight to prison for choosing that one. That's a real tester for.
I don't think so. I think it's more about your look. You know what I mean? I think it's more about how you. I mean, we link a lot of our looks to our self-esteem, rightly or wrongly, and a lot of our. I don't know. I think a lot of our. Yeah, I think that's it. We link a lot of our self-esteem to how we look, and I think. Okay, like I mean, I'm picturing an 8-year-old's face on a 58-year-old's body.
Well,
I mean.
Okay,
I mean, what are you saying you're going to prison for?
You've imagined yourself with the body, so you're just literally just your face. Right, okay. I think I had painted it to the students as in you are 8-year-old you with 58-year-old mind, or 58-year-old mind in 8-year-old you.
Oh, mind. Well, I thought you said face. Like
sorry.
I was picturing you take a face of an 8-year-old.
We can go both. We can go both with the face. The face, yeah, that's comic. That's whichever direction you go with that one, you're kind of you're going to get a gig.
Well, yeah. I mean, in a circus, I think for sure.
I don't know, man.
8-year-old's face on a 58-year-old.
You've just spouted out many words that never made sense 20 years ago, and look, there's room for a baby-faced
You think that's in the
58-year-old.
You think that's in the future? You think that's coming down the tracks at
I
us?
think that's the next thing. That's what AI is, right? Isn't that what they're doing? That's what.
It's got to be one of the things. It's got to be one of the things that they're going to do with AI is somehow make it that. I mean, to get
Anyway,
the 8-year-old's face on the 50-year-old, does he just have, like at 8, does the face just freeze and he goes through all the ages of life? Or does the face just, he turns 58 and his face just turns back to an 8-year-old's face?
Well, while I'm not 58, the way I sold it to kids was like, imagine you look like me, but with your mind. Like, to be honest with you, the whole thing was
That's completely different.
Flying over their heads. A lot of it was because they're only.
Well, I'm
like
not surprised with this
7 and
fucking
8 years
gibberish
old.
that you're fucking all over the place with the premise. First of all, I'm not surprised they didn't get it. You're
Well, I've
throwing out
discovered.
contradictory bullshit. You're threatening them with prison for fucking something that they choose. No wonder they don't want to fucking say a word.
And to be honest, and you know what? I've become even more dictatorial. Is that right? Dictatorial with it.
You got
because
to
I don't let them ask questions anymore. I'm like, no, so because I've realized that it goes down like it's your own personal interpretation of what you're hearing. So at the end of the day, this is a game, like, so it's like,
Okay, well,
it's how you conceive it. And so everyone was like, oh, but will I have, does that mean my face is like, I've said the question,
Okay.
choose one. It's basically where
Can
I've
I
ended up.
tell you? But the problem, Andy, with this is that if I were to do that, I would end up with an answer to a question that you then changed. That's the problem
that
there.
you misinterpret. So I would have said,
No, you said no.
well,
Next, you're like, no, the mind.
the record will show that I did say whatever I said to you. That's because I don't have the card in front of me, but I was correcting. I was correcting it. So I acknowledge my mistake if I said face.
Okay.
I think it was to, but I actually can't remember exactly which one. But anyway,
Face is way funnier. Face is way,
the
way
face
funnier.
is more entertaining. It's the other one that's a little kind of creepier.
So what are you saying is creepy now? Just so that
if you chose to be the 58-year-old in the 8-year-old's body,
right?
Because you see where I'm seeing the problem with it.
No, but to be honest with you, there is a lot to be said for wouldn't you like to go back with the knowledge you have back to an earlier age? Imagine the power that you would have with the hindsight that you have now as your 8-year-old self. How much would you not give a fuck about so many things? You would save yourself so much stress.
That's true.
So much stress. That's all it is. Oh, sorry, all the saliva built up in my mouth at that exact moment.
You see, now you're starting to
about that.
drool at being a 58-year-old, and I see it. Like I can't allow this to go any further. This is what's going to go wrong, Ed, because someone's going to pick you up on a podcast.
But don't you think so? Don't you think that?
Yeah, of course. What is it? The saying is wisdom, or what? Youth is
old
wasted.
head on young shoulders. Or
Old
something.
head, youth is wasted on the young.
Youth is wasted on the young. That was it. Youth is wasted on the young. That was something.
So,
but like, yeah.
But then again, that's perspective. You're seeing the optimistic side. I'm seeing the darker side, and this is what I'm trying to drive into kids. Is like it's perspective. It's like it doesn't matter. It's how you picked up the question. I'm trying to drive into 7 and 8-year-olds. This is going way too.
Now, bear in mind, kids, that if you choose the old person in the young person's body, you're going straight to prison. That's just my perspective. That's how I play the game. That's just that. And as we've all
death row will spare you. Death row. Okay, yeah. No, I'll go down. I could go down an even more darker road there, but I'll stay sipping beers.
What would you choose, Andy? What would you choose? So the question is, just let me straight. The question is, it's about the mind, putting the mind of, not the face, which is, as we've agreed, way funnier.
I guess
face of an 8-year-old.
You just have to take
58-year-old.
I guess you have to take the 58-year-old as an even, and I'll use my power for good. I promise.
Yeah,
But
that's
like
it.
just because being an 8-year-old, it's just a double shit. Like it's like Big, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's basically the movie Big.
big, but you
Where
get none of the. But you're past the prime
yeah,
of
yeah,
like of body prime,
yeah,
body
exactly.
prime.
So like you're not even Tom Hanks. It's like nobody
Yeah,
wants to be with you. You're not smart enough to do shit.
yeah,
You're not even
exactly.
barely smart enough to take a shit.
Yeah, yeah. You're way over the hill physically, and you're mentally just a fucking stupid 8-year-old. So I mean,
I'd
you'd
have to
actually
return to
be
the car.
completely fucking
Yeah.
stupid to pick that one.
Yeah.
The only option is to be the 58-year-old. You've got your whole life ahead of you again. Oh, that'd be cool. That'd be really cool.
And that's how we judge who has to repeat the second grade and who's allowed to go on. If you get that question wrong, you're clearly not ready for the third grade. You need to stay here a bit longer.
Yeah, but when they appeal that decision, the students, they go, I could have sworn Mr. Andrews said something about face.
Mr.
I could have sworn he said something about face and not the mind. Are you telling me he said mind now? And I think this is bullshit.
Your Honor, it's how you perceive the question. I merely state the facts as they are presented in front of me. How my clients have determined how to perceive these.
Well, clearly none of these idiots have wisdom beyond their years. That's all I'll say, Your Honor.
So yeah.
The cutthroat world of would you rathers.
Yes.
My God. Be careful, everybody, playing that game. Just be careful. That's all I'll say.
How are you doing?
So good. I was just going to finish about Substack. So Substack is how our subscriber list on Substack is how our value as human beings is measured by the corporate world of podcasts. So I know people asking you to subscribe to another fucking platform. It's just a pain in the hole. But if you could, it would be nice for us.
Do you know what I hate? And I know it's like anti what you're trying to do there now.
Yeah.
No, fucking smash that like button. Smash it. Smash that like button. If I like, makes me sick.
Surely that's a bad thing to do. Surely that's bad advice. To smash anything, I think is probably bad advice.
Well, not to fucking lean into my work too much, but like today I had a kid fucking smashing his keyboard off the table, and I was like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "I'm cleaning it." I was like, "What?"
Oh, okay, getting the dust out from it. Okay,
getting the dust off, but smashing it off the fucking table. And then I got into a back and forth with him over this. Is my dad? And I was like, "Oh, no, I did the classic fucking line." I was like, not word for word, but if you were at home, would you do
that at home? Beautiful. That's
like,
a classic. It's a classic for a reason, Andy. It's a fucking classic for a reason, you know.
But not many people can use it. Only teachers, really. Like, you know, it's not like you're at working on an airplane. You just turn to the and you just would you do that at home? Would you?
Would you fucking service that strut at home like that? Anyways, but replenish the oil in that at home.
But of course, the kid answered with the perfect answer is that, yep. My dad showed me how to do it.
See, they don't. His dad showed.
He doubled down on me then, and I was like, all right, but did your dad say to... So then I just like... Because of course, like my pride, my ego is at stake here. You know, I've got
you've invested.
These are no longer second graders; these are fifth graders. I'm dealing with now. This is fucking.
I'm
science.
Sorry, man. This guy's gone toe to toe with you in a rhetorical duel. So he's now a man. He must be treated and dispatched as such.
Crotch shot. Did your dad teach you that one, huh? Anyway.
But to be like, fucking fair play to that young fella. That's really good. He handled that situation very well, I have to say.
He did.
My favorite answer that I heard in primary school. I remember it was there was 3 rooms in our primary school, and there was a fella in our class. We were in I think 5th class, So we would have been 11, I guess, would be the average age. And this kid said this. He wasn't he wasn't a bowed kid, but he just had fucking cojones, And he I remember the teacher said to him, he was walking over to the bin, I think, to maybe top his pencil or something like that, and then he was walking back, but it was kind of disrupting the class. Maybe they were holding up the teacher's lesson or something like that. And the teacher said, blah blah blah, can move along. Like she said it quite snarkily, let's say. Move along, pick up the pace or whatever it was. And the boy, the 11-year-old boy, said, yeah, all right, I'm not a fucking Concorde.
He said that
And
to
this day,
back
that
in
is
the
my
80s, 90s.
Yeah. So no, I was 11, so that would be 1984.
No,
1994. 1994. Fucking hell, I was learned fuck all in school.
58 years old. Oh, it's an 8-year-old in a 58-year-old's body.
I'm a 58-year-old in a 42-year-old's body. I got gypped on the whole deal.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I thought that was one for the records.
That was
really
obviously he got ripped to pieces for that. Did he? Do you remember the reaction?
I can't remember the punishment. The reaction of the class was, but for a few, was stunned silence. Most of us were just like, it was all stunned silence, really, And he just started walking back to his seat, as if sitting down was going to be in his immediate future. Like, yeah, fucking right, you're going out, man. You're going out. I said, yeah, I'm not
I can't wait to ask you afterwards who that was. I have a few candidates knowing your sphere of people that were around you.
You will never get it. You will never get it.
Interesting.
No.
All right.
No. That's the. I think that was the last thing I ever heard that guy say. It's the last thing I can remember him saying.
That's why you don't remember him. He was actually never showed up again to school. He was never seen again. Just who was he? We all remember him saying it, but nobody can remember his name, where he came from. You were all like Men in Black after that. Then you all got the.
He went away to Concord. Fucking grounded for life.
Just one more on that. Then just on more recent experience, like that same class that I was telling you, where I had to crotch shot the kid. Just for the record, I have not crotch shot any kids. I don't know.
Obviously, but it is important to say those things to set the record straight. That was all.
I don't know if it is. I don't know if it'll save me. I'm in Germany, but maybe nobody speaks English.
I think it should save you.
But so the same class, just a similar thing to that. But I had told them all, okay, I want everyone to put their they get a snack. Fucking these kids get a snack. After they come in at 2, they get a 10-minute fucking break to have a snack.
You're so well fucking hydrated.
Jesus Christ, they're always eating anyway. So I said by 2:10 or whatever, when the class is supposed to restart, I want all snacks away. I want to start at 2:10. So I'm pretty militaristic.
Militant.
Militaristic.
I think militaristic would work.
I think it sounds nice anyway. Yeah. But this one kid, really, really good kid, and not that he did exactly that, but I was like, okay, the time's up, and I don't know what his name. Let's call him
Barry.
Barry. And I was looking at Barry, and Barry's a really quiet kid, just a classic kind of kid look, like a bit gormless, freckles, just like eating whatever he had in his hand. And I was like, time's up, Barry. I hope you're not going to eat that. And a lot of these kids are 2 languages, and as good I am, some of them are really strong. They're considered mother tongue English speakers, and the others are partner tongue English speakers.
Okay.
I don't know which band he's on because I don't teach them English. I teach them science. But he just stared at me, and he just ate it just right after the whole class was silent. And the same way he did that, and this kid is so quiet and so innocent. He just started eating in front of me. And anyway, I was so I didn't flip out with him there. I was like, come to break time with me tomorrow. I want to talk to you tomorrow. And he just hadn't a clue what he had done. He didn't know. He didn't understand what I had told him, what he was not supposed to do. All I think he could hear was, you better eat that. So whether he wanted it or not.
So an honest mistake that made him look like a fucking
legend.
gangster.
Yeah. Oh man, Yeah. So I'm sure he's street cred. That's what I'm doing. Boosting
Up a few notches.
morale, you know, amongst the
Job,
troops.
man. Like, yeah, getting some of those guys. Yeah, bringing them up a few levels.
It's a good mixture. Yeah. Build them up, then punch them in the balls.
Tear them back down.
Right back down. You know, Jekyll and Hyde. Just nobody knows. Who am I today, kids? Am I an 8-year-old in a 50-year-old body, or am I a 58-year-old in an 8-year-old body? Where my wowie pop? Where my wowie pop, kids? What the fuck is wrong with Mr. Coleman?
It's definitely not the second one, sir. Definitely not the second one.
So yeah. Sorry.
Cowabunga, dudes. But yeah, that was it. I'm not going to stay harping on about Substack, but it is a pain in the ass. Like, it's a pain in the ass to go on to another thing and go, oh, fucking not subscribe. Jesus Christ. Another thing I have to subscribe to, and you have to give details and an email. And so I understand if people don't want to do it.
Do you subscribe to Mush yourself? Have you?
See, the thing I would on podcasts specifically, I go through Apple Podcasts, which I was told, which normally the podcast I'm listening to, one in particular now, says do use the Apple Podcast one and rate it on the Apple Podcast, and that really helps them in the searches on podcasts.
What is it you're listening to?
I've got a few that I listen to. But to answer your, does that answer your first question? Actually, I can't remember what your first question was.
You haven't told me any podcast. I think it was just, what was the first one? Oh yeah, are you subscribing? So yes was the answer.
Yeah, through Apple Podcasts. But I don't know of many other podcasts who go through Substack. So I think, not that we're unique in that way, I'm sure other people do, but we're the only ones I know of. So yeah, so that's why I just think it's worth mentioning if people don't know how best to support the podcast. Subscribe on Substack. That's the best way.
Mm-hmm.
But if you just want to be a casual listener, just catch us. You've got lots of other options, and we will not hold it against you one way, shape, or form. We love you. Podcasts that I love are, well, I've got a few. I'm going to forget some now, but the Revolutions podcast, I think I've mentioned that before. It's history one.
Is that still going? Is that still?
Yeah, he started up again.
That?
Mike Duncan. Yeah, he started up again. The one podcast I absolutely love at the moment is That's Why We're Not Together Anymore with David McSavage, you know, who did The Savage Eye. He's a comedian. He did that show called The Savage Eye, and he's got that podcast with the format is normally him and his wife, partner, whatever, they're separated now. They do a podcast together with their sons, who either one or both of their sons will be on the show as well, doing the producing, I guess. And they'll just talk about a topic or whatever, but it's just the humor of it is so strong and so honest. Like, as in, like, you're really seeing, you know, their personalities kind of carry the whole thing through, and they're just, oh God, it's so funny. And what else then? I've got another podcast. Definitely have another one. I listen to Case File sometimes. It's kind of a true crime podcast. Fucking hell. It's hard to listen to sometimes because it's quite graphic. And so not one to fall asleep to. And what else have I got? Definitely have another one. I'm forgetting. I listen to, I don't know, Sam Harris sometimes. So I've got a few. But like anything Dan Carlin releases, I'll listen to that. You know,
yeah, he's on the he's tickling the world again now and again. It's very rare, but
what is rare is wonderful.
That's what I say. Nice.
How have you got anything to promote this week, Andy?
No, apart from the gig next Wednesday. apart from our actual gig.
That sounds exactly like
the focus of the podcast. Yeah, we're playing on the 11th. I've made a poster. Did I show you the poster?
You did not show me the poster.
I did not show you the poster. Oh, you know the way I've been kind of, because like the image that we have for this podcast is, well, it's obviously like coming up to 2 years old now, or it's at least a year and a half old. But it's at the early days of AI, and we were doing that. I was just trying to put something together to be an image on that, and that
We should
became
change
the
that.
yeah, we probably should.
We should change
But that
that. But anyway,
became
sorry, go on.
we talked about that about a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
It's still like
First thing in the morning.
yeah,
That's a
yeah.
job.
But
First thing in the morning, I'll go do that.
so like I've been asking a kind of few friends like would they well that's a lie. I've been asking one specific friend if he would help us make a
I have
poster,
no friends.
and he did not get back to me, and I didn't want to bother him anymore. That's not me shaming, but shame. And he so I've kind of just returned back to that, which I used for the poster for the get folked sessions that we did, where we did like 6 sessions and 6 gigs at one every month. But then I had to I feels like I have to make a poster for this one because we're always advertising it like 2 days before or 1 day before. Now saying that, I've made a poster and I haven't sent it to anything yet. I've sent it to actually one person. But I try to use the image that we have for the Get Folked podcast. But as one of the band members pointed out, so the image that I wanted was angels, which is what I kind of worked with. I can't remember the exact thing that I typed into AI, but I wanted angels sitting at a bar with a guitar, and they had pig's feet as hands. So if you look close at the image of that, you'll see kind of that kind of thing. But as AI does, it's got its flaws, and I think eventually, like, that was a bit of rendering as well. That was me just kind of retyping and asking. That wasn't just like a hit. And that was the work I put in. This is the work I was put. I was typing in, can you do this?
Yeah.
Can you do this? And eventually we ended up with what you can see on the Get Folked logo. And so I was using that as a promotional poster as well, and just kind of just doing my best. Whatever Photoshop is, I'm trying to just put words on a page. But one of the guys pointed out, he said the angel, the wings are coming out of its fucking head, Andy. Which is true. The wings are coming out of one of the angel's heads, and not you have.
Well, I'm so glad you got to fucking talk to an angel expert on the subject. Somebody who's actually seen an angel and is on their lofty pedestal, feels they're able to critique that wings don't come out of an angel's head.
That's fucking drummers, man. Fucking drummers.
Well, excuse me.
No surprise there, huh? No fucking surprise there.
You don't have to talk to me about drummers, huh?
So anyway, I ended up using a lovely picture actually from our last time that we played in Posh Teckel for Paddy's on the 17th of March, and just I did a more simple job. I think it worked out quite nicely. So I'll post that right after we record here tonight, which is now. Oh yeah, sure. Nobody's going to hear this. Oh, we will. They will hear this before if they come up. So I'll post that tonight.
They will, but you said something last there a few minutes ago about like, I usually never advertise this until like 2 days before the gig. So this will come out 2 days before the gig. But you're going to post the poster.
I'll post an Instagram, which will be out. And then if you're listening to this, then it's 2 days before the gig, and then maybe you're cursing me, but then you should have followed us on Substack, because that would have.
That's another one you have to follow. Actually,
that would have redirected you to our Instagram, and there you would have found out that we're playing in a small bar in Berlin this Wednesday, 11th of June at 8:00, and we will be joined on stage by Kaya. I'm not really sure how to say the name. Let me see. I'll just so I can phonetically say it. I'll have it in front of me here. Gaia, I guess. Gaea, Gaia.
Okay, yeah.
Gaia.
Okay. I think you're hitting it there, yeah.
So so that's us. What about yourself?
No, nothing musical to promote. Nothing musical to promote. I fucking had a thought in my head there when you were talking about the posters, and that people can get quite, let's say, like all of us, I suppose, if we have a bit of knowledge in something, we can be a bit, and I speak for myself here, we can be a bit maybe condescending when a newbie strays into that patch. It's wrong. It's a wrong way to be, but it is a human trait, I would say. And we do our best to suppress it. But I do remember there was one time.
It's like every time I see people trying to raise children.
You're doing it wrong. Doing it wrong. So I just remember there was one time where like we had a picture of us at a gig and we posted it, I think, on Facebook at the time, and we put this filter on it. There was like a black and white, ready to go filter that
Yes,
makes
I
the
remember. I
picture look
remember
black and white.
the Irish Times was the bar.
Yeah, and I said when I saw that filter being applied, I was like, there's one person in our lives that's going to really ridicule that picture for that filter, and he's someone we love, but this is his job. So, and predictably, when he saw that picture, he was like, "What the fuck is with this stupid filter that you put on?" So I think especially with pictures and things like that, and imagery and art. I don't know where I'm going with that.
I have not, apart from turning it black and white, I have not done anything else to this picture, which I think is an acceptable. In all worlds, in art worlds, in visual design worlds. But saying
tasteful.
that the same,
So we were kind of going for
the same person is the one, and I said that exact word. I said, like, I'm giving you the first chance to make a poster for us.
Good. Very good.
Before you ridicule it.
That won't work though. He's going to.
It won't work at all. I know.
He's too strong.
At least
he's too strong. His powers are just too strong. It's not going to save you, Andy.
He sent me back just a laughing, crying face. So it was enough. It was enough. He acknowledged me. It was like,
you're fucked.
Yeah, I'm not helping you.
And I'm still going to ridicule you. So, you went for like tasteful art, noir, black and white.
Yes, kind of like black and white with an orange.
Orange. Me holding an orange, but in black and white. Is it still an orange if it's black and white? Who knows? These are the artistic questions that I like to ask.
And these are the kind of things you'll ask yourself when you come to a gig. Are these guys trying to sell me oranges because they haven't sang any songs yet? They're just giving us.
If you want to up the notch on artisticness in the picture, you could show a bit of tit.
Or as we say here, a tat in German. Dat tat. Or das. Sorry, das. Where am I going? Das tat.
Obviously it's das. You get the fucking cases right. Talking about boobies. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing the poster now.
Yeah, I don't think I'll talk about it anymore. You can look at it; it's tasteful. It's not going to blow you away, but it's enough. I think it's enough, and it's.
Are you going to take on board my bit of tit? Your tit?
Not for this one. Not for this one. But I'll work it into the next. I'll work it.
What
into
about
the
holding
next.
the orange? Is the orange holding going to make?
I might bring an orange to the gig just to help. Kind of maybe it becomes a storyline.
Cool.
That only me and you know about.
There's lots of those already, though. I think the audience is probably sick of all that. There's lots of those situations where we talk about something that nobody else understands and we really laugh our asses off and then don't explain it. We've been given out about this by our other bandmates.
Told off.
Correctly.
Scolded. Some might say.
We're not above a scolding.
No,
I'm not above a scolding.
No. When's the last time you were... no, that's actually... No, I was going to say, when's the last time you were scolded? But I don't want to do that. That might drag us down into a podcast about your ex-wife or my ex-wife.
Neither of us have ex-wives, by the way.
No, an ex-wife, but it might bring us down a path. I'm saying the path. If we start...
it might result in ex-wives.
Yeah. What was I watching recently? Oh, yeah, weird kind of... You ever heard of bodkin? Was this released in Ireland? This because it's on Netflix.
Is it a Welsh drama or something?
No. It's set in Ireland. I think it's Bodkin.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
Set in Ireland, Dublin detective podcast, crime podcast. People come to.
It's good. I like it.
The
American guy.
Did you watch it all? All episodes?
I did. I enjoyed it.
We got halfway through, and the reason I'm not just randomly saying things. That guy, the lead, will say one of the lead characters. The reason he became a famous podcaster is because he did a podcast that was about his marital problems, and it was so honest and raw that it became hugely popular. And that's how he. And he's, as far as I know, because I only got halfway, so there's not going to be too many spoilers in this. Up to episode 4 spoilers, but like. it would make an excellent, excellent Irish drinking game. This entire series, because
Oh,
they managed to squeeze so many little quirky things that are Irish into so many scenes, like
yeah,
so many. Like
right.
they're just it's unreal. Like it just like when I was watching it with Pauline, I was just like kind of every time something would happen, I said drink, drink, because it was like the phrases people would come out with, or the
Mm,
the scenes at a wake or something like that, and just like, but
yeah,
they just managed to squash them all into like a 35-40 minute episode, just like to get about 60 of them in.
okay.
Okay, that's a bit of an exaggeration, but 20, maybe 10.
You weren't counting, were you?
No, I wasn't counting, but I was doing the
Okay,
drinking thing. So anyway,
right.
but
It was a
I don't have
lot.
much to say about that apart from
No,
didn't really love it, but you liked it. Okay,
okay.
there you
I
go.
enjoyed it because I think it just it felt I understand what you're saying. That side of things felt a bit too forced. Whereas, like, yeah, we have to really, really, really shoehorn all the bigaras into this series.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah, that felt clunky and it felt unnecessary actually because I thought the storyline was good enough
Very
on its
unnecessary.
own.
Absolutely. And
You
the
know,
lead actress was brilliant.
oh god,
Thought
she was
she
savage.
was
Yeah,
really good. I just,
yeah,
yeah, exactly that. It just didn't need that. And there was only so much I could take. And I was trying to imagine, like, you sometimes watch it like an American, really quirky, kind of unusual show that, like, has just loads of little quirky things in it. And I was like, okay, maybe this is what it's like to be an American
yeah,
watching an Irish thing. It's just full of these quirky little things. And I should just take a step back and enjoy it.
yeah.
But in the end, it
Maybe
got me. I couldn't. I
you're not
couldn't.
the market. Maybe is what you're
I,
thinking.
maybe not.
But it was to be. You're right. But it, like that, it didn't have to have it. So you're right. I think I agree with you that that was bothering me. But I think the rest of it carried it through. Like that, the acting was brilliant. I thought and the characters were quite likable. I thought, and the storyline itself, I thought was quite solid. So I kind of got through all that fucking shit that you're talking about, which was annoying.
Hmm.
But yeah, I thought it had enough. It is unfortunate to see that happening, to see like writers putting that stuff in when they don't need to, especially when they really, really don't need to.
Hmm.
Um, but I have noticed that about some Irish stuff. I'll struggle to pick another example of this, but sometimes Irish productions can't decide whether they want to be uh, quirky, funny, or dark, and they try to mix the two, and sometimes the mix doesn't get right.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, I think it's a kind of an Irish genre that I've noticed pop up from time to time.
Yeah, yeah. It's like Killinascully on one side, and what's that? That hardcore gangster
The
one that was
Sopranos,
no, the one from Ireland, the one set in
Love Hate,
Dublin. Oh,
Love
Love
Hate.
Hate, yeah, Love Hate. So
Mm,
it's when they try to do these two things together, like, and I say Killinascully because like I do actually, there's something about the guy from The Unbelievables that I'm kind of starting to turn a little bit, and I didn't like him a lot because I'm not a fan of Killinascully and that kind of that
mm,
and it's just not my kind of thing. I love The Unbelievables, but I kind of that hit it for me as well. And but
you're talking about Pat Short.
Pat Short, yeah.
Yeah,
But I quite liked him in this, and I he was even though he was still kind of a little bit,
yeah,
but like that's his that's his type of character. That's the person he's playing, and he plays it. He's as authentic in those roles as he is almost as an Unbelievable. It's kind of, he is carrying the exact way we are as Tipperary
yeah.
people.
One of my favorite things I saw Pat Short in was that one scene in The Guard. Have you seen The Guard? That movie?
I think a long time ago, yeah.
Yeah, it's fucking this scene is probably one of my favorite scenes in a movie. Actually, like it's up there, and he's in it with Brendan Gleeson, and he plays an IRA uh, operative, and he pulls up to Brendan Gleeson, who plays a guard, in a buggy, like in a what's it called, a Morris Minor car. I think it's Morris Minor. Is that what they call it? You know the one I mean?
No,
Oh shit! It's like a punch
kind
buggy.
of
You
looks
know
like
that
a
one?
Beetle, but it's not
Yeah,
a
I think it's
Volkswagen
a
Beetle.
Beetle.
But yeah, okay, I do know what you mean.
I
Yeah.
think it's a Volkswagen Beetle. Yeah, sorry, that's it. And he pulls up one of those dressed as a cowboy. He's got a big, massive cowboy hat on, and it's just a really, really, really good scene. The dialogue in it is really funny, and so yeah, he does some really good stuff. Pat
No,
Sharp,
absolutely.
but
Big up. We're
yeah, so you
not
didn't like
here.
Balkan.
No, what didn't love it. No, to be honest with you,
Okay.
just got to the end of Seth Rogen's new thing. The studio, it's called.
Oh yeah,
But
okay.
it's on Apple TV. You know
Mm.
when you kind of this is another problem in the modern world. A real fucking bitching, moaning fucking session for me now. But
Fuck's sake.
the subscriptions. Oh yeah, it is a
Mm.
subscription. There we were talking about that. I was subscribed to Apple TV and I hadn't realized I'd cancelled it, and so I haven't been watching or ever turned it on because we've had it for, even though I've had it for like 2 months. So I've had 2 months of Apple TV and not watched it. So cancelled it this week. But then, of course, I have like 10 days left on it. So it's now you got to binge watch as much
Yeah.
from that as you possibly can. And I remember we got it for Severance, actually. That's why we got it initially, was for Severance. And then, anyways, The Studio by Seth Rogen, 10 episodes of like 35 minutes each. It's just like him as a studio head. And like, it's kind of like The Office in a way, as in like it's got that cringe factor. Like he's this guy that wants to be liked but keeps fucking it up for himself,
Okay.
or becoming too desperate to be liked, kind of a thing. You know, very very similar to that. So great actor, great acting in it, and good shows. But I don't know. Am I going to ruin this now? Hey, should I be? We should probably kind of put. I don't know if I'm going to put any spoiler alerts
Um,
in any of this, or I don't want to ruin things
I
on
don't.
anyone.
I don't know how to put a spoiler alert on anything other than saying spoiler alert.
I don't think I will now. So, but what I'm going to do
Nah,
is
don't.
I'm going to what?
You'd
Don't do
recommend
it.
it, would you?
Yeah, okay. We'll leave it at that.
No, I don't know. Is that a good way of?
It ends as many Seth Rogen movies and programs do.
Okay.
Put it like that. As many of the Seth Rogen genre has ended. It was like, but it was good. It was a nice finish to it, but it wasn't a particularly enjoyable ride. Nice finish, but too long. Like most things now, fucking 9 episodes to get to the 10th one, where you're kind of like, that was enjoyable, is not enough.
Okay.
It's way too much time invested.
Right. I do love watching stuff though. But anyway, how was your week? Had you any musical i- situations this week? No, nothing.
Nothing at all. I had situations, but not so musical.
Situations, but not so musical.
I did look up a couple of things because, like, I know I said I was going to record that song, but I was like, oh God, we're playing next week, so what's the point in me
Mm. Yeah.
recording something here when I can just not record it in a bar? You know, it's just
Yeah.
it's that. So I have two things that I want to like. I'm still kind of fixated on this banned songs genre, like songs
Yeah.
that have been banned. But before I do that, I just want to tell you, I was coming home with the train today. Have you ever met someone with Tourette's?
No.
No, like, and I don't know if I
No.
have either, but because it's hard to tell sometimes in Berlin. Um,
You're really
like,
giving someone the benefit of the doubt
it's
when
just
you
like,
diagnose them yourself. You know, like, are they an asshole
just-
or have they got Tourette's?
because there's this guy on the train on the way home, and like, so he's a big guy, like this guy. I think there's a certain, but maybe Irish people have it as well. Like, there's a certain distinctive, like the pot belly, when the belly just comes really far out. But
Yeah, it's lots
with
of,
Germans, I think it's a lot of, well, I don't know, with everyone, maybe it's a lot of beer or a lot of bratwurst. That's where I'm putting it down to, anyways. But I don't know, could be the sweet tooth as well. I guess Irish people are similar.
champions. Yeah, we've got our own pot bellies. Out
Yeah,
here.
but so there's this guy.
Sorry, but I think pot bellies is more of a smaller belly, right? It's like more of a
Yeah, this is not
it's
no.
contained.
Like, this is like, you've seen like
a barrel. You're
big,
talking about a
because
barrel.
some of these guys are like, you see like pretty big Germans, and they're big, but they're big out as well. But they're not. You wouldn't necessarily call them like really fat. It's
No,
like,
okay, gotcha.
but they're just
so
like solid, but still very round,
stout,
stout. Yes. But anyway,
strong looking.
I got on the train, and then it was this guy sitting on the seat. So I sat kind of behind him. He was drinking a can of Berliner Kindle. So Berliner Kindle wouldn't be the best beer, but it's all right. It's fine. It's nice. I would drink it. It's pretty
like
cheap. And but you don't see people drinking cans a lot in Germany, or at least in Berlin, anyways. At least. But so I got on the train and sat just sitting behind him. And next thing I noticed, he started kind of saying a lot of things. He'd be like, but he not very audible. Sometimes like, like that kind of thing as well. And the train was starting to get packed as we moved on, but it was all kind of inaudible, whatever the word is. You couldn't understand it, and until he just went blah, blah, Hitler,
Oh
and,
fucking
and
hell!
and then everyone's attention just went, huh?
Oh, oh, laser focus on this guy now.
But it's hard, like it's hard because but everyone kind of there was still a kind of a good vibe to it because everyone realized this guy can't help what he's doing.
Oh
Now,
god.
I have to say, when he drank as he was drinking the Berliner Kindle, I was like, you're not helping the case here with having the can, of it. Like, not that it's a bad thing to be drinking. It's just people are going to be quick to judge, not me. Not me. I'm not one. But people out there,
Slow to judge.
slow to judge.
Still judge, but
I'm
slow.
stuck.
Slower than most.
Anyway, but that was fine. And then he was Hitlering away. Next thing,
Jesus Christ.
he just started, while talking, he burped, and he burped out like words, like, there's just like nothing inaudible again, but just like, like really like, and then took into talking himself, then cracked another can, and then like a lot of
Okay.
people, like there was a good mix of people then that were like had the face of like, this is disgraceful, this is fucking stupid, and a good mix of people that were just like, this is hilarious, this is very funny, what's happening. Apart from when the smell arrives of that burp, and then it's just like, oh god, and I was sitting a good distance away from this man, so yeah, I just found it funny. It was like, and I have given him the diagnosis of Tourette's
Mm.
because he had to have something going on because he was just not nonstop, kind of just like, it wasn't even conversation. It was just like every so often it would just blurt out. But the Hitler came out a couple of times, and it was just like, I wonder what's going on in your head. What are you
I
thinking right now?
but like it's a fucking it's a shit thing, isn't it? Like I remember there being an episode of the Late Late Show, and I think they had people with Tourette's on it, and in an effort to kind of get the nation to understand, I think it was Late Late Show, but I might be wrong there now, but I do remember it being on national television. This thing, and you are, okay, that's watching stuff like that is very affirming for me that I'm not a really nice person. Like I'm okay. I'm an okay person, but I'm not a really nice person because there's it's an involuntary thing, which it makes it worse. That let's say like it's an involuntary thing in me that I find it kind of funny because someone's shouting out like tits or whatever randomly, and
Yeah.
so it's mean. Now in fairness, I suppose. Look, maybe it's maybe it's your reaction, if whatever. But the point I was going to make was I wonder like as far as I can understand from watching that, for them obviously it's completely involuntary. They can't explain why they say these things, but there does seem to be a natural tendency with people with Tourette's to say the forbidden words
Yes. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
words that have a taboo attached to them. They there seems to be some sort of proclivity for that in people who have Tourette's. But I wonder, like, if you're drinking, does that whatever control you have, does it loosen? And so would it make your Tourette's more acute? Your symptoms? I wonder. I don't know.
I guess it's
But
maybe a bit of housekeeping for next week, but yeah, like I
I do
was
feel
thinking. Yeah, go on.
no, I do feel bad for finding it funny. That's the thing. But
You see,
I
like, and
can't
this,
help
okay,
it.
that exact point I was thinking about on the way home from the shop today. I was like, will I talk about this and what I saw and kind of and like I can remember watching a documentary about like people, like friends of people that have Tourette's, or even I remember a kid in a classroom. I can't remember what the documentary was, but the friends just got used to it, and like sometimes like the kid would say something at just the most ripe moment and like laugh and like while it might be involuntary to that, like it must be horrible to be a kid because kids can be just unforgiving and we would rip fucking someone and just want it to happen, us particularly as young teenagers, like we're just kind of what's going to wind people up, and this is
Mm.
hilarious, and just being teenage dickheads.
Yeah. Now, if I was a
But
58-year-old in that body, I would not have been like that. I would be more mature.
there you go. There you go. One advantage. I I won't find fart jokes funny. No, at 58 years of old, I'm probably still going to find fart jokes funny.
They're always going to be funny.
But yeah, like I don't know. There's something about it. Like I imagine, and again, I guess I'm speaking for the fucking the Tourette's community now, and I'm saying you all find it funny, right? When that happens, right? But you know what I mean? It's like I guess there's part of people that just have to accept, like, this is. I know people are like, in the same way that you have a wheelchair, or in the same way that people will look at you differently, and you just
Mm.
kind of have to blast past it. And like, don't get me wrong, it must take some amount of inner strength and stuff like that. But like, when something is funny, when someone says something like Hitler on the train,
In
drinking beers
Germany.
and burping out, I'm like, that's so, like, that's funny. Like, am I doing this person a disservice by like kind of trying to stay stern? And it's like, you know what? He's got something going on, so you shouldn't be finding that funny. It's like, no,
Mm.
what he's done is not okay. I wouldn't call it a gift, but it's like, it's funny. This is funny. I don't know. Again, I'm drifting on the line of, am I going to be fired?
No, I
No.
like. I think that'd be a very harsh firing, Andy. But yeah. I mean, but having said that, you did just assume he has Tourette's. So let's just assume he has Tourette's, and I still think you're kind of okay to find it funny. But
I
I
think
suppose
so
you have
too.
to be a bit respectful in the moment. I suppose is what's
Absolutely. Like,
required.
I think there was a gentle smiling now, because, like, yeah, whatever. He's
A
having
smile to
beers as
say
well.
it's okay. It's
It's all
okay.
right. We're all appreciating the moment here as well. But it's a
Yeah,
good
yeah,
it's a good it's a nice segue for me, because have you heard of a man called Ian Drury?
no.
So Ian Drury did that song, "Hit Me with Your Rhythm Stick." Hit me, hit me. You know that song?
I know the song. Yeah.
Okay, well, that's not the song I'm going to talk about, because
Oh,
that same guy released a song in oh god, in 1980. Oh, I have to find it now where it is here. I have it written down. He was back on my list, because a lot of the songs that I found that were like banned in 1981, so a year before I was born, and two, excuse me, and two before. Sorry, excuse me, a little hiccup there. Um, he had a song that was banned from BBC, and it was called Spasticus Autisticus.
fuck's sake.
But this guy, you know why he wrote the song? He
No,
wrote,
why?
so I'll read you out like the blurb that I got. Injury song Spasticus Autisticus was banned by the BBC because it used a derogatory term, spastic, in a way that was considered offensive. The song, released in 1981,
Oh,
was a protest against the International Year of Disabled Persons, which I kind of find like, what?
what?
They had, this is the International Year of Disabled Persons in 1981. And the
Okay. What
use
was
of
his
patronize.
grounds for?
Sorry.
Oh, sorry. You're about to explain.
So
Sorry. 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 Sorry.
so Ian Drury wrote this song as a protest against the International Year of Disabled Persons and the use of patronizing language towards disabled individuals. The BBC's ban, despite Ian Drury's own disability, was not due to the lyrics being explicitly offensive, but rather the use of the term that had become taboo due to its association with a disability. So he had polio himself as a child, and he became disabled himself. So he would walk in a kind of a very unusual way. And like, will I read you out some of the lyrics?
Definitely. Like,
Definitely.
like, absolutely.
So, like, oh man, where did I find it? Where have I put you?
Where have I put you? Spasticus autisticus.
Spasticus autisticus. Can you? Oh, here we go. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, sorry. It's actually, yeah. I'm nobbled on the cobbles, 'cause I hobble when I wobble. Swim. That's so. Place your hard-earned peanuts in my tin, and thank the Creator you're not in the state I'm in. So long as I've been languished on the shelf, I must give all proceedings to myself. I'm spasticus, I'm spasticus, I'm spasticus autisticus, I'm spasticus, I'm spasticus, I'm spasticus autisticus, I'm spasticus, I'm spasticus, I'm spasticus autisticus. 54 appliances in leather and elastic, 100,000 thank yous from 27 spastics. Whittling, griddling, skittling, diddling, fiddling, diddling, whittling, diddling, spasticus. Um, what was the line that he used? Oh shit, I've actually skipped over the beginning of it, because one line that he did get in trouble with, which I just think is just like, I wibble when I piddle. I wibble when I piddle, cause my middle is a riddle. I'm spasticus. I'm spasticus. I'm spasticus autisticus. I'm spasticus. I'm just like, Jesus Christ, what a fucking line. I wibble when I piddle, cause my middle is a riddle.
Oh, fucking hell. Wow.
So yeah. Anyway, so that was one of the banned songs of the BBC that they ended up not banning and ended up reinstating, but after 6 p.m. And yeah, and it's funny kind of going through, like, obviously we only have 4 minutes left now, but we talked at the beginning of the podcast about interpretations and how you would interpret my kind of would you rather, and like a lot of these banned songs were just like what they heard something and they interpreted it as something which was completely miles away from what the writer or the artist was trying to do. But I guess, whatever.
This is a recurring theme, though, isn't it? This is a recurring.
Yeah,
you know,
I was about to say the word cancel culture, and then I said I'm not going to say that because I hate that fucking word. But because I just not that I hate the word, but I just hate the way it's like, it's just thrown about just way too much.
Yeah. No, like just that it is a recurring theme of like, okay, what did the fella who, or whatever, the person who wrote the song, what did they mean? Like, surely is important. Has to be. Not just that some dickhead who thinks like a dickhead interprets it the way a dickhead would interpret things because they're a dickhead. You know what I mean? Like, so I think you have to really take into account the way it was meant, not just the way it can be consumed. Now, that's not a hard and fast rule across the board. But I don't know. It's a good one, though. Like, the word spastic, though, that was like a genuine, I thought, medical, maybe not medical, but a word used to designate some form of disability, an official word used to designate some form of disability, and it became so widespread as a derogatory term that it then just became that derogatory use of it overtook the official use of it, and so that word now was just stained forever, I guess. Wasn't that it?
Exactly. Yeah. Can I read you out, because I know we have time now? Can I read you out like so that the Guardian has an article on this? It must be, I think it's 6 years old, the article, but of songs that were banned. And Jury wrote Spasticus Autisticus to protest against what he saw as the patronising International Year of Disabled Persons, and then it was blocked by the BBC, which deemed Jury's descriptions of physical disability offensive. Redemption finally came at the 2012 Paralympic opening ceremony, where it was sung by a group of performers with disabilities.
Fucking hell! I have to hear this song.
It's like when I heard, because I wasn't so sure of Ian Drury or what he is saying, but like but his voice is definitely one that sticks in the head.
Yeah, that hit me with your rhythm stick one. I think everyone knows that one.
There was others. We could look at some others another time. We don't have much time left. Me So Horny wasn't one that I felt like I was going to read too much out of the lyrics, and I don't know if there was any way that it could, and particularly because my mother listens to this podcast, I really didn't want to get. We already pushed the boat out enough on that one, but Me So Horny didn't really. There's no redeeming there. There was no. There is some crazy lyrics.
Like, there's no second layer of meaning there.
No, but I do encourage everyone on the podcast that listens to the podcast to go look up the lyrics of Me So Horny, and remind yourself it's there online as well, and just see what was going about. I think another song of the 80s, I think, as far as I remember reading.
Is that the one? I'm horny. Horny,
no.
horny. No? Oh, that's Me So Horny.
No. Me So Horny. Me So Horny. So I can't even fucking remember the lyrics to it now, but all I can remember is just like, I wasn't particularly familiar with it beforehand, but when I heard it, I was like, I think I've heard that somewhere before. Listen, we got to wind this up because we've got 40 seconds to go. Love you all very much.
Baby.
Hit that button.
Go on.
Tried to turn it down a little bit there to see if it would work.
Me so horny. I don't know. I mean, it's. There's also another insult in there, in that like they're speaking like I would say they're trying to speak like someone out in
It's like
far Asia, Eastern Asia. You know, but that's become a kind of me so horny. Next
Love
week.
you all. Bye bye. Shit, stop the thing.